Okay, chess with checkers. This game is just chess. It's just chess, except for you can't really see the pieces. It's one step down from Blindfold, right? Because then you wouldn't be able to see any pieces and just see the board. So it's challenging because then you have to remember more things, right? And there's kind of this mysterious thing of like, oh, what could this guy be? What could this guy be? But if you played a lot of chess, then you should know. You should know where all the pieces start, so you should be able to track them down. Um, it can be a little bit difficult if you forget what everything is, but I have some tips if you guys are struggling with this variant. So anyway, let's take a look at this game where I played with the white pieces. So I started with English opening, okay, so this is a pawn, and we have e6, okay, and inviting a queen's gambit, okay, and this should be a queen's gambit declined, coming with e3, so pawn takes pawn, so we have just a bunch of pawns here, nothing to worry about, and our first actual piece comes out, so we have a bishop on c4, okay. Yeah, it's interesting to note. Somehow I feel like I can be really good at this chess variant. To get to 1934, I don't recall losing a game. Maybe I've lost like one game, but all the other variants that I've played, I've lost tons of games at, trying to learn and figure out. But yeah, for some reason, I can't play Blindfold very well. I just can't keep track of like all the pieces, but since all the pieces are laid out for me here in Chess with Checkers, you just can't really see them, then for whatever reason I can still just see every piece as though it wasn't just a checker. I don't know. How do you guys feel about Chess with Checkers? Is this easy for you? Is it hard? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, back to the game. Bishop c4. So all this is okay for black, except for then they start going astray. So pawn to a5, and this is no good. This doesn't control the center. This doesn't develop more pieces. So I go about my business. This is a knight. So imagine a little horsey on c3. Okay, bishop b4. This develops a piece. So not terrible. I just ignore this because my little pawn on b2 guards c3. So I'm not too worried, not too concerned. Okay, and then black exchanges. So they spend 2 tempi and just exchange this knight, which has only been moved once, and then my pawn just captures back. So now I have a nice big juicy center, have 2 pieces. Let's see, can I make this a different color? No, I can only make it orange. Okay, well, I have 3 pawns here, and then I have 2 pieces that are developed, and meanwhile black has just 1 pawn that's developed. Okay, then they continue with f6. This is not good. Definitely heading astray here. Fortunately, this pawn is still protected because the dark square bishop will protect it. Okay, so I definitely was aware of this. I play bishop a3, so it's just going to cut through some of these diagonals here, and yeah, it could make black's position a little bit more uncomfortable. They continue with e5. Definitely not the play here, right? Opening up the center when there's no development, right? All of black's actual pieces are on their last rank, okay? So already I know that this is attacked by a pawn. There's a pawn and there's a knight attacking this, and there's only 1 pawn defending, so I know that I can just go ahead and lop this guy off. Black recaptures, and then I just go ahead and play knight recaptures. So there's tons of stuff happening here. Queen takes queen, king takes, and then forking with the knight is a threat, right? Because this guy's a knight. Okay, so just keep track. We have a bishop, a knight, queen is involved, enemy queen is looking at me as well. Okay, so probably it was essential for black. I'm not sure what they can do. Maybe exchanging queens, not good because then it just pulls my rook into play, right? This is a rook on a1. So it's really hard to give good advice for black at this stage. They played queen d7, right? And this is obviously not good. Pause the video if you guys can find the move. Remember that this is a knight. Bruh. So just capturing the queen, and then that's pretty much going to be it. Okay. Coming here, pawn attacks the queen. Just come up and then just apply more pressure. So now there's a rook looking here, there's a queen looking here. I do note that there's a knight that's guarding this, so I can't just immediately checkmate, but black goes. Okay, and additionally, we'll see the game as it should be with the normal pieces rather than just the checkers. So you're allowed to do this after the game is over. Obviously, during the game, it's not allowed. You can't make the pieces show normally. Okay, so you have to press Shift Alt C to see it. So yeah, I'll just toggle it on and off just so that you can see. Woo! There we go. Okay, so as we said, it was an English opening that transposed into a Queen's Gambit, and white continued to develop their pieces, and black just kept on pushing pawns, and then blundered their queen. Okay, and that was the end of the game. Okay, so there you have it. It's chess with checkers, and this was using the Shift-Alt-C technique to be able to see what you were doing if you didn't know already. Alright, so as promised, I'll give you guys some of my tips for playing chess with checkers, or in general blindfold chess better. So the number one thing would be to not play when you're distracted. So eliminate all distractions. This really helps for just playing any variant of chess either. So do what you can, lock yourself away in your room, make sure that no one can call you, make sure that you are just totally locked in, because otherwise it's going to distract your focus and you're not going to play as well. Okay, so the second thing that would be really important is to play the moves back in your head. Or if you're lucky, and you have this, it's on chess.com, I would say it's okay. It's allowed in the game. You're not allowed to change the pieces back to their actual pieces. Like, this would be your queen, and using that Shift Alt C method that we talked about, that can't be done. But if I lost focus because somebody distracted me or for whatever reason, I can always play the moves back and play them forward again. So if I lost track and didn't know where I was in this particular position, or I forgot that this was a queen and this was a bishop, then I could just track it back until I found, oh, this piece was sitting on the D1 square, so I know it's my queen. Okay, so that's very helpful if you do lose focus and you lose track. If you were playing live and you had to play blindfold chess, then you just need to go back to the very beginning of the game in your mind and just replay all the moves in your mind. Good luck. Okay, and then for the third piece that I would try is just really focus on practicing your visualization skill. So this is going to come up a lot in looking at different tactics puzzles, right? You have to see different pieces and how they skip across the board. So that's going to be really important in blindfold chess, because you have to keep track of pretty much every piece. And so, yeah, of course, that's going to be a very difficult thing to do, but obviously very necessary and something really good to practice. Okay, and then the last tip that I'll leave you with for playing this variant is to try and keep things simple, right? If you're playing against someone that is really good, then you're going to try and not play some crazy like Sicilian defense or something super tactical that you have to really keep track of all these different things, unless that's just kind of how your brain works, unless that really is your biggest strength and you're trying to take advantage of the fact that you have a really great memory. If you have a picture perfect memory, then maybe you would go for that. If you're like me and you're just a normal guy, then I would try to keep things simple, and I'm going to try to use my chess rather than my memory to win when I'm playing blindfold or playing chess with checkers. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.